On a windy day in Norman, Oklahoma, let's wrap up this series against Team Mexico as the #1 ranked University of Oklahoma Sooners square off in the third exhibition matchup of the weekend against the Mexican national team. It's Sooner Softball on Sooner Sports TV, presented today by OU Health. Along with DJ Sanchez, I'm Chris Plank. And boy, DJ, we talk so much about the bats with this team, but what a weekend for Sooner pitching. G and Shannon have been fantastic.
They have. It has been domination in the circle for the Sooners. G. Juarez on Friday was lights out, and Shannon Sale picked it up yesterday and have been keeping these Mexico hitters off balance.
It has been shifted, as the leadoff hitter is now Sid Romero, who digs in, and the first pitch is low for a ball. Sorry for the confusion. Sid was originally listed as the 9-hole hitter in their first lineup that they gave us, and then she was in the 2-hole, and here she's leading off. So the first pitch to Sid is a ball. The 1-0 is in for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. I have no idea if the rest of the lineup is right. We'll find out as we go along.
Exhibition.
That is the reminder. Today is an exhibition matchup. Here's the 1 ball, 1 strike pitch from G. Juarez, who is the starter for the Sooners today, and it's low for a ball, 2-0. Sid, by the way, was a fantastic leadoff hitter for the Sooners when she was called upon to do so. But as you might imagine, I'd like to have her pop at that 2-hole where she can lay down a bunt if necessary, do a few different things as well. So Sierra is in the on-deck circle, and there's the first hit of the weekend for Sid, and it's all too familiar. A rope down the left field line, and she slides in with a leadoff double. Jennings missed the ball, and it one-hopped Romero off the helmet. Good piece of hitting.
It was. Romero has been hitting the ball hard all weekend. It just hasn't fallen, and here is one. Can't hit a ball much better than that. Down into the corner, double all day.
And that will bring Sierra Romero to the plate, who in the original lineup that we received was actually in this 2-hole. So maybe they've just swapped Yurtez and Romero. As the first pitch is low for a ball. So a leadoff double, and that's a big-time start for Team Mexico, who has struggled to get things going.
These Team Mexico bats have really been silenced this weekend. We haven't seen a lot. They really even haven't had very many opportunities with runners in scoring position.
Well, no, it's fouled back. 1 ball, 1 strike. And by the way, kudos to DJ for reminding us, as we've learned throughout this weekend, this is an exhibition matchup, so there'll be a lot of moves and changes that won't necessarily need to be by the book. We saw a batting out of order where a player just came in and assumed the count on Friday night. The 1-1 is in for a strike. Ball and 2 strikes to Sierra Romero.
I've had to remind myself a few times. I'm like, you can't do that. That's not allowed. But part of it, and opportunity for everyone to just get some work in.
Here's the 1-2. Fouled at the plate. Sierra, who, as we've mentioned many times, is trying to bounce back from a very serious knee injury that she suffered in training over a year ago, posted on social media that on Friday night when she stepped into the batter's box, she was nervous. And I can't imagine Sierra Romero being nervous very often in her career. The 1-2, swing and a miss. Boy, G. Juarez was fired up on that. 1 away.
Huge out, and what a payoff pitch here. Just painting the outside corner and getting the wave from Romero.
Chelsea Gonzalez will hit in the 3-hole. First pitch from G with a runner at second, off speed, nasty, strike 1. It's a good look at the record. I think our producer Grant Wade on the TV side and Eric King on the radio side are tired of me saying this, but it gets asked a lot. Stats do not count from this weekend. There's a line drive into the left center field gap. Look out. Cut off beautifully by Coleman. They'll hold Gonzalez to the single, but Romero scores from second. And Team Mexico off to an early 1-zip lead on the RBI single.
This is the most solid contact we've seen consistently, and that ball just up in the zone. Not a lot of movement, so a little bit of a miss there by Juarez, and Gonzalez took advantage of it.
Brittany Cervantes, who had been playing a majority of the weekend at left field, could also catch if called upon today. She swings at the first pitch and pops it a mile high on the infield. Who's got it? Taylon Snow does. Oh, she dropped it. They'll get the... No, they won't get the runner at second field because Snow threw it into center field. I think that pop-up gives you an idea of just how crazy this wind is today, because off the bat, Jana Johns started to go make a play on it. Then G looked over towards first, and that ball just carried over where, well, Snow couldn't make a play on it.
Yeah, that ball carried from the left side of the field to the right side of the field. And again, you know Taylon Snow, she's saying this right now. She's going, you make a mistake like that. Wind had a lot to do with it, but you pick the ball up, you finish the play, take a breath. Don't let one mistake turn into two.
Because that's exactly what happened there. So runners at first and second. Victoria Valdez. She swings to the first pitch for strike one. Dallas has played, let's see, where did we have her yesterday? She was, she's been at first all weekend long. The 0-1 is in for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes. Beautiful day, but a windy day. Our weather report is always brought to the Trails Golf Club. Learn more at trailsgolf.com. We'll get you the actual forecast coming up. Oh, there it is. 22-mile-an-hour winds. That can be a problem. Big-time play by Lindsay Elam behind the plate. 22-mile-an-hour winds out of the south. It's gorgeous out. But that can make it a little challenging for the pitcher in the circle.
Anything to the right side of the field today is going to get interesting. Anything that gets up in this wind is going to fly. Something that's routine may not be routine anymore.
The 1-2 is hard hit through the 5-6 hole, but backhanded by Lyons to knock it down. That'll load the bases for Team Mexico here in the first inning. Dallas is aboard.
This is the most we have seen Team Mexico string anything together all weekend. They're putting the ball in play. And good job by Grace Lyons here keeping this on the infield. This goes out into left field. We may have a play at home plate, so good job by Grace Lyons keeping it on the dirt.
So here is Amanda Sanchez with the bases loaded and 1 out. Team Mexico up 1-0. First pitch swinging, and Juarez threw it right by her. Sanchez has been one of the more consistent performers from Team Mexico this weekend. The 0-1 is a little out. 1 ball, 1 strike. Three hits already in the first inning for Team Mexico. They had 4 hits all day yesterday and just 2 in the Friday night game. They've loaded them up with 1 out. Here's a 1-1. Bounce back up the middle, backhanded by Jennings. Shovels to line for 1 to first. Oh, what a stretch by Taylon Snow. Ring it up. Big time play up the middle by Jennings and Lyons as Team Mexico only gets 1 in the first after loading the bases. We head to the bottom of the first inning. Sooners trail at 1-0 on Sooner Sports TV. Jennings, Alo, Lyons, Hansen, Snow, Coleman, Elam, Johns, and Mendez. Starting lineup for the Sooners. And everyone's average is amazing as the first pitch to Tiare Jennings is a little up. OU Health not only brings you the game today, the future of health is here, but our standout player, our spotlight player today. And look at Tiare Jennings, 6 for 7 this weekend with a couple of RBIs and a run scored, including the game winner yesterday as she jumps ahead of the count, 2 balls and no strikes. She's had a great weekend. She has, and yesterday was just kind of the icing on the cake, getting the walk-off RBI, making it look easy. 2-0. He's in for a strike. Taylor McQuillan gets the start for Team Mexico today. She pitched on Friday night. Sooners did a really good job of seeing her well. McQuillan had a good start to that game. The 2-1 to Jennings is in for a strike. 2-2.
Yeah, the Sooners made pretty quick work of McQuillan on Friday. 2 1/3 in relief of Danielle O'Toole.
scattering 5 hits and allowing 4 runs, struck out just 2 of the 12 batters she faced. And Jennings has run the count full here, 3 balls and 2 strikes. That win, you just can't help but every so often look up and see it gusting out to center field. The 3-2 is popped up foul and out of play.
Anything that gets up in the air. Again, I think we might see some fireworks today. We see fireworks even when there's no wind here at Marita Hines. But anything that may be a routine fly ball typically or a deep fly ball might leave the yard today.
Full count pitch to Jennings. Bounced down the third baseline, foul. Nice play in foul territory by, again, the player who I just feel like has been one of the most consistent performers this weekend for Team Mexico, and that's their talented third baseman, Amanda Sanchez.
Sanchez has just quiet consistency. Just
so good,
you know, everything she does, she's like, oh yeah.
That's the play I make.
Yep, that's just how I do things.
Full count pitch is popped foul and out of play again. Busy day on campus for the University of Oklahoma. Men's tennis is in action right now. Baseball just underway against Houston. This game against Team Mexico that the Sooners trail 1-0. 3-2 pitch to Jennings is gone. I mean, absolutely destroyed to center field and out of here. What a shot by T.R.A. Jennings over the batter's eye almost in center field. That thing cleared the second fence, and Oklahoma has knotted this up with one swing of the bat. Oh, my.
We've been talking about wind. That thing was gone regardless of what the wind's doing out here today. And she kind of inside-outed it a little bit and just mashed it to the right side of the field. That was gone, no doubter.
Can't even make a play on it in the stands because it was over the bleachers. Home runs this season brought to you by Whataburger. Download the Whataburger app for curbside, and Alo digs in. She takes the first pitch low for a ball.
If you need a run, T.R.A. Jennings.
That's all she's done this weekend is score runs. Here's the 1-0 to Alo, up high 2-0. So, broken record time. No stats count from this weekend, but Alo has hit in both of these games. So whenever she extends that hitting streak and it rolls on, we'll make sure to add these games to it as the 2-0 pitch is a little out, 3-0. Waiting on deck is Grace Lyons, the Sooner shortstop. 3-0 count, the pitch. In for a strike. A breaking ball there.
A little bit. Again, McQuillan has good stuff. You know, I think this weekend, I don't think her movement has been where she typically has it.
One is fouled back by Alo. The count is evened up at a full count. It's not evened up. 3-2 math. Not my specialty. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
But I mean, McQuillan has good stuff. She has good velocity. She does a good job moving the ball. Again, I think something walking away for her and wanting to improve this weekend.
Ooh, called strike 3 on Alo. It's a rarity. Jossie heading into this weekend had only struck out 3 times on the season.
Sitting here talking about getting some movement. We saw that pitch start, kind of a backdoor curveball, start off the plate and just break to the corner. That's the movement McQuillan needs to get consistently if she wants to be successful today.
Is Grace Lyons. First pitch to the shortstop is pop foul and well out of play. Grace Lyons, to kind of give you an idea of how special she's been to start this season. Started every game. .470 average. Double digits in home runs already with 10. RBIs 27. I was looking at the total. 27 RBIs would lead, of the 7 teams in the Big 12 that play softball, 5 of them. And she's currently on the Sooner roster 4th in RBIs as the 1-1 pitch misses low, 2-1. Sooner leader in RBIs heading into this weekend was Alo with 49. 2 balls and a strike. McQuillan brings it home. Ball 3. Keys of the game today brought to you as always by Riverwind. I like it. It's very similar to what we went with yesterday, as it should be. As the 3-1 is laced down the right field line and off the wall. We'll get to those keys after Grace Lyons slides in with a one-out double. She paid homage to that 2000 National Championship team as she bounced one right off Sid Romero on the right field wall.
Just taking it the other way. What a great piece of hitting. I thought for a second this was going to leave the yard, but you can't hit a ball much harder than this. Grace Lyons with the one-out double.
And that gets us right back to our keys as I'm going to have a quick trip to the circle. Keys is always brought to you by Riverwind. And, boy, you apply pressure, and that's what this team is doing here early on, isn't it?
Yeah, and the Sooners have done it all weekend defensively in the batter's box. They have kept the pressure on Team Mexico all weekend. Success today, they just need to keep making Team Mexico feel them. Play clean. We have seen some really tremendous softball in all facets from the Sooners so far this weekend. Very clean softball. Continue that the rest of the day. It's day 3, game 3. Everyone's making adjustments, so continue to stay clean.
Kinzie Hansen will step in for the Sooners. Speaking of clean, what do you think of these Los Sooners?
I like them.
Shirts today that they're wearing.
They're pretty sharp.
I like them a lot. Sooners sported this uniform combination in Puerto Vallarta last year as the first pitch to Kinzie Hansen is outside for a ball. Not bad. You know, we don't have a lot of opportunities to kind of change things up, so Coach Gasso said, why not? Let's a big thank you to Team Mexico for coming and playing this series as the 1-0 pitch is out. Oh, that caught the outside corner, 1-1.
You know, this has what a great weekend of softball that we've gotten here. You know, yesterday the 2-1 ball game. Today we're tied up 1-1, and I think we're just going to have a battle today. But it's just what a great weekend of softball.
They're going to throw behind Lyons on the high pitch that makes it 2-1, but she's back safely. Yeah, this has been fun, especially for Sooner fans.
Yes.
I think that in a lot of ways, there had still been questions about had they played anyone, had they played the best pitching. 2-1 pitch is, right on the inside corner, 2-2. I think that question has been answered quite a bit here by what this team has done against really, really good pitching that Team Mexico has. There is not
a hole in this Team Mexico pitching staff. I mean, you are getting former All-Americans. Ooh.
Hansen just got one off the leg. She'll walk down to first base. But you're talking about players that Pac-12 pitchers of the year.
Yes, I mean if you're questioning, you know, the Sooner stats, and another look at Hansen just wearing the ball right on. I think it got her right above the knee, so that's good. Never good to get hit at all, but better than taking it in the knee.
We've had a couple of shots on the knee this weekend. The line drive shot last night that Shannon Sale took as the first pitch to Taylon Snow misses outside. Oh, I'm sorry, she tried to bunt at it, and she missed it. No balls and a strike. And the scary shot that Shannon Sale took in the 7th, the shot that Kinzie Hansen just took there, and a little bit of a challenge for bruised knees, if you will, this weekend. Here's the 0-1. Snow takes it low. Taylon Snow this weekend, if you love 2-game stats, 2 for 7 with a run scored. Driven in a couple of runs. Had 1 strikeout. She bats here with runners at first and second in a 1-1 tie. The 1-1 pitch is ripped foul down the right field line. Got one up in her eyes, and she turned on it.
One thing, and we're seeing McQuillan really hit some good spots and kind of keep the Sooners a little bit off balance, but all of those spots are at the knees. Every pitch that has been hit hard this inning by the Sooners has been belt and above. So McQuillan, I think she is realizing she's needing to make that adjustment and keep the ball at the knee.
1-2 is bounced off the glove of the first baseman. The second baseman backs it up, but Snow beats it out. The toss gets away. Here comes a run. The Sooners have taken the lead as Grace Lyons scores from third on the missed toss by Sid. Maybe errant toss is a better way to put it. Trying to get it to Valdez to still get Snow at first. And that'll be an error, and the Sooners get the lead on just some aggressive base running.
Yes, and the Sooners have been, I think that's something we haven't talked about a ton. Their base running has been great this weekend. But again, another pitch, that ball was hit, I know it was a ground ball, but it was hit pretty hard. I mean, Taylon Snow turned on that ball. Definitely a play that I think the Dallas expects to make.
Yeah, I agree.
But I mean, that ball was hit decently hard. It wasn't just a routine ground ball.
The first pitch is a little in to Jada Coleman. Speaking of players who have had a nice weekend, Jada Coleman is 3 for 7 with a couple of runs scored, 2 extra base hits, including that triple last night that led to the Sooner win. She's driven in 2 runs in this series against Team Mexico. She bats with runners at second and third and 1 out. Pitch, swing, and a miss. A little off speed fooled her. 2-1 Sooners. Hanson at third. Taylon Snow at second. Dallas at first, Romero at second. That's a tough play. Sid not typically a second baseman, and they don't get a chance to work together too terribly much. Squeeze play. It's a beauty. Coleman, is she going to beat it out? Yeah, Stone down the right field line. Hanson scored on the squeeze bunt. Snow throws on the throwaway. And how about a little small ball to kick off your Sunday afternoon? 4-1 Sooners on the beautiful squeeze bunt by Jada Coleman.
What great execution. That is a great bunt on an outside pitch, taking it to the right side. And kind of going back to what we talked about, applying pressure. The Sooners are putting pressure on this defense, and we're starting to see Team Mexico make mistakes.
Second circle conversation for Team Mexico here in the first inning, as Lindsey Elam steps to the plate with a runner at second and 1 out. That runner at second is Jada Coleman. She could probably score on a ground out with her speed. The only player with a better 2-game average than Lindsey Elam is Tiare Jennings. And Elam rips one into left center field gap. That'll get to the wall. Coleman will score easily. Lindsey Elam stands up. It's a 1-out RBI double. It's the 6th hit of the weekend for Lindsey Elam and her 5th RBI over the stretch of the last 3 games, and that'll do it for Taylor McQuillan.
Lindsey Elam went down and got this pitch and lifted it into the gap. What a weekend for Lindsey Elam.
She needed it, and we're going to have a pitching change. We've seen Danielle O'Toole in all 3 games this weekend. The former Arizona standout will be called upon here to try to slow down that Sooner attack. And well, you see Tiare Jennings getting ready to get into the on-deck circle. Sooners about to turn the lineup around here in the first. They lead it 5-1 as Jana Johns digs in, and the first pitch from O'Toole is blown away for a ball. Collegiate accolades are well documented for O'Toole. Was the Pac-12 Pitcher of the Year during her senior season at Arizona, and her 1-0 pitch is in for a strike. But the Sooners have done a really nice job against her this weekend. O'Toole came in an inning of relief last night, gave up the game-winning RBI to Tiare Jennings, and of course the start of the 7th inning. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Johns pops one down the right side, just slicing foul. And she started the opener 2 2/3, and the Sooners lit her up for 9 hits.
Yeah, they did it. I mean, O'Toole, we've seen O'Toole throw more than anybody else on this staff this weekend. And the Sooners haven't really been fooled by her. I mean, they're seeing the ball well. She's not getting a lot of strikeouts. So the Sooners have really made O'Toole, have made pretty, again, quick work of her. She hasn't been able to get through a game. But she has been out more than anybody else on the staff.
Her body language to me has been a little bit off this weekend, but I don't want to judge anything like that, even though I guess I just did. 2-2 is bounced foul. Kind of seems, the Danielle O'Toole that we saw at Arizona, when she stepped to the mound, to the circle, she owned it. When she had a very Shannon Sale-like approach to it, and kind of at times watching her this weekend, it's almost as if the last place she wants to be is in the circle. 2 balls, 2 strikes. O'Toole brings it home to Johns. Up high, 3-2. And again, it's an exhibition, so I mean,
yeah,
her spot on the team is secure. Maybe for her it's just to get out and get a little work done.
On the same token, again, I've kind of noticed. I feel like she's working slowly. It's very methodical.
3-2 pitch. Popped into center field. Could be trouble. It falls for a hit. They'll hold Elam at third. It's first and third for the 9-hole hitter, Nicole Mendez, with only one out here in the bottom of the first inning, and the Sooners up 5-1.
Again, another pitch that's up in the zone. We were talking about that earlier with McQuillan. This pitch obviously not hit extremely hard, but it had eyes and found some grass.
Here's Nicole Mendez. She will be a part of this Team Mexico roster. She is one of 4 current D1 athletes who will join this team for the Olympics. First pitch is low for a ball. First and third situation here. Hattie Gasso loves her first and third plays, but also maybe a situation to where we could see the squeeze executed again. When you had a great bat handler like Jada Coleman in the batter's box, Nicole Mendez is equal to that. A little bit more experience too. The 1-0. It's a little check swing pop-up that falls, and Mendez is going to beat it out, and Elam scores from third. Elam was going on the pitch, so I don't know if the goal for Mendez was to try to put it to the left side, but this could have been a double play if she caught it.
And you can kind of see Mendez going down the line. She had eyes on that, going, you know, is it going to drop? A little bit of O'Toole went after the ball hard.
Yeah.
And we kind of saw Romero kind of hold up on it a little bit.
And again, Sid is a shortstop, third baseman. A little different world at second as the first pitch is in for a strike to Tiare Jennings. So the Sooners have batted around here in the first inning.
Well, and honestly, I mean, that ball fell in no man's land, and as quick as O'Toole got on it, I mean, Sydney, I understand kind of holding up. The last thing you want to do is go plowing into your pitcher.
One pitch is in for a strike. No balls, 2 strikes. And Sooners have put 6 on the board here in the bottom of the first inning. 7 hits and only 1 home run. And Tiare Jennings had it. Here's the 0-2. Jennings' home run at the time, as that misses low, tied this game at 1.
I will say one thing I think is evident this weekend is Nicole Mendez is going to help this Team Mexico
a lot
this summer when she finishes up here, hopefully late into May and June.
1-2 misses low and away.
But I mean, from what I've seen, I really think Nicole Mendez is going to be she's not just going to be a role player on this team. I think she is going to really contribute in all facets, defensively, in the box.
2-2, bounced foul. Rewatching, by the way, that replay, I don't think Elam was breaking on the pitch. I think as soon as she saw contact, she took off and then realized, oh no, I might have to get back. So, you know, Lindsay, you mentioned it. Nicole Mendez looks like she's really going to help Team Mexico, but she's really been sharp with those soft slaps this weekend.
And there have been, I mean, we saw Sid Romero make some pretty ridiculous plays on a couple of them yesterday, but I mean, just all the things that she has in her toolbox that she can do. She can swing, work gap to gap, and then now is just really trying to perfect that soft slap and put it in places that are tough to get to. I mean, it's just, it makes her hard to defend.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Jennings, after the foul ball, waits and pops this one up on the infield. Sid Romero races out and makes the catch. Wow. Big time play from Sid as that ball carried a little bit deeper into the outfield grass. It's the second out of the inning. You see Sid Romero getting the start at second base today, but Alice at first, Gonzalez and Sanchez on that left side of the infield. Palacios has gone the whole way behind the plate this weekend for Team Mexico. And Yurtez in center field looked good yesterday, but made a couple of mistakes late. Remember, she's an infielder. Let's see how she adjusts today. First pitch to Alo is up high for a ball.
I was so impressed with Yurtez at short on Friday night. I thought she was really impressive.
1-0. Kind of fooled Jocelyn a bit, but it shows you how strong she is that she pops it foul and it's all the way out of play. One ball, 1 strike. First and second 2 outs. Sooners up 6-1. Little in. 2-1 to Ala. Jossie, when she batted in the earlier part of the first inning, got caught looking. Oh, she's wanting to avoid making 2 outs in an inning here. The 2-1 is hit hard. Nice play, as has been typical all weekend long at third, as Sanchez takes it to the bag to end of the inning. But the Sooners bat around in the first inning. They put 6 on the board, and the freshman does it again. A no-doubter. Are you kidding me? T.R.A. Jennings. Sooners lead it 6-1 as we head to the second on Sooner Sports TV.
OG&E. We energize life.
First pitch to lead off the second is dumped into center field by Sachel Palacio, and Team Mexico down 6-1 to the Sooners here in the top of the second inning. Get the leadoff hitter aboard for the second time today. And that'll bring Stefania Ardias to the plate.
I will say Team Mexico has made adjustments at the plate today. I mean, we're seeing them put better swings on the ball, I feel, than we have all weekend.
Ardias bunts it foul. I don't think Yurtes is going to hit because she's been out in center field, and Hernandez just moved into the on-deck circle, so interesting. She was originally listed as their leadoff hitter, as the 0-1 pitch is up high for a ball 1-1. In fact, in our final lineup card that we got, Yurtes was listed as a leadoff hitter. Sid ended up hitting leadoff, and now there's a good look at Hernandez, who's waiting on deck here. Desiree Hernandez. Interesting. Runner at first, nobody out. The 1-1 pitch from Juarez, swinging a miss. She threw it right by her. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Six runs for the Sooners in the first inning on 7 hits. They batted around, sent 12 batters to the plate. 1-2. Hot foul. They have been the equal. Well, they've been, I'm trying to think of a nice way to put this, infinitely better than one of the top teams in the country, in the world. The 1-2 pitch. Low, 2-2. And now I'll be curious to see, with a 6-1 lead, and win Friday night 11-0, when a pitcher's duel 2-1 yesterday in extra innings. G. Juarez has worked through some adversity. Shannon Sale looked great yesterday. Do we start seeing the depth of this pitching staff a little bit? I wonder.
I think maybe, and I also, too, I was just sitting here going, you know, this is such, not that G. Juarez hasn't been through it before, but with the Big 12 being a 3-game set.
Right.
And heading to Ames next weekend to face a good Iowa State team.
2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3, 1 away.
You know, you come out on Friday and see G. Juarez. Teams go back, make adjustments, and then you face a team again, either on Saturday or Sunday. And then another look at this pitch. Great spot. What a curveball. And just blowing it right by Ardias.
First pitch to Hernandez is fouled back.
But it's something that you don't really get these opportunities in preseason very often, to face the same team 3 times. Because as a pitcher, you have to make adjustments too. You can't go in with the exact same game plan, because that's a game plan that this team has already seen. This lineup has already seen you 3-4 times, and they're going to see you 3 or 4 times today.
Well, 1 pitch is bunted foul, no balls and 2 strikes.
So I really love the fact that G. Juarez is getting the opportunity. And again, she's already done it.
Right.
But it's a new season. You get the opportunity to come out here and face a team that you just faced a day and a half ago.
So your adjustments, you're working on, you're going to see how hitters adjust to you. Now you adjust as a pitcher. 0-2. It's a little out. This is the kind of insight DJ Sanchez brings us. As a former coach, as a former player, I'm sitting here thinking, all right, give me some Macy McAdoo. I want to watch some Olivia Raines. I want to watch Nicole May pitch. And you say, well, not so fast, as the 1-2 pitch from Juarez is a little out. This is a great opportunity for her and Jennifer Rocha, and then, you know, Lindsay Elam's behind the plate today with Kinsey Hansen. Also, having caught her a little bit on Friday, it's a great opportunity for them to all kind of see how hitters are going to adjust to them.
And I agree. I could see it going either way. Get the others in, get them some work, but at the same time, too, how far can G go in this 3-game set?
I love it. Quick visit to the circle by Lindsay Elam. A 6-run first for the Sooners. Oklahoma leads it 6-1. 6 runs on 7 hits. Runner at first, though. 1 out for Mexico. 2-2. Swing and a miss. She climbs the ladder for her 3rd strikeout of the game.
Love seeing the back-to-back Ks after the leadoff single. And again, that curveball today is tough. She's working it up. She's working it down. These lefties are having a hard time doing anything with that curveball.
Here's Sid. A leadoff double to start this game. First pitch to Romero is a little low and in, ball 1. Still seems kind of odd, I won't lie, to see Sid in a different uniform playing here at Marita Hines Field. But excited for her Olympic opportunity as the 1-0 is hit pretty deep to right field. But her Team Mexico teammate Nicole Mendez makes the catch and ends things in the 2nd. Sooners rolling as we head to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Lead Team Mexico 6-1 on Sooner Sports TV. Grace Lyons leads things off for the Sooners as we roll into the bottom of the 2nd inning. Oklahoma leads Team Mexico 6-1 along with DJ Sanchez. I'm Chris Plank. Thanks for spending your Sunday afternoon with us. Oh my, the wind in center field is blowing so hard. The flagpoles are moving right now. I mean, the Oklahoma flag on the left, the OU flag on the right, the American flag in the middle are almost bending that flagpole with the wind as the first pitch is outside to Grace Lyons.
I'm glad we're in here.
I am
I'm
too.
glad we're not sitting outside today.
Some wind to burn out there. The 1-0 is a little out to Lyons. Grace Lyons in her first at bat of the game. Ended up reaching on double. Scored a run. 2-0 pitch. She pops this one up, and if the wind carries that, it's going to get well out of play, but it's dropped. Vidales, ooh, that's a tough play to not make for an Olympic-bound team in foul territory at first base. I thought that ball might get blown out of play, and maybe Vidales just overran it.
Yeah, that's a play, and I have a feeling that the coaching staff in Team Mexico dugout right now is kind of going, that's a play that has to get made.
You got to be at their wits' end. As Grace Lyons, does she make him pay? Hits it deep to center field, but not deep enough. As it's caught by your texts out there, and there's 1 away.
Looks like we had, for a moment I thought we had an illegal pitch called.
Well, they've sent Grace Lyons back to the batter's box. Is that what they called? So then we are in international rules, right?
Yep, so they called an illegal pitch.
So it's 3-1 instead of an out. How about that as a break for the Sooners? So the illegal pitch called, the 3-1 to Lyons, strike 2.
Again, if Lyons takes advantage here,
Yeah, it's huge.
you know, that's two mistakes here in 1 at-bat.
She rips one that makes Patty Gasso just kind of shift to the side a bit. So is that the same in college as it would be in international rules, that if you are called for an international pitch, even if it, or excuse me, an illegal pitch, if it's an out, it's still a ball, right? Okay.
It is, and just kind of as we saw happen, if an out is made, an illegal pitch was called.
Is that hit foul?
The batter will go back.
Okay.
Typically, if there were runners on base, the runners would. Well, no, that rule has changed.
Yeah.
Runners stay put.
Oh my gosh, I was
That
thinking
rule
about
has
that the other day.
changed.
2016, whenever we
Yes.
lost to Kansas, I think you were with me on the
Yep.
call. 3 or 4 illegal pitches ended up allowing Kansas to score runs. The 3-2 is ball 4.
And that really used to, I mean, it was deadly. And it, you know, you throw, which they don't happen that often, but
Right.
sometimes you have a pitcher on your staff that has something that every now and then, you know, gets shown. And, you know, with runners advancing each one, there was a big push to get that rule changed.
I think it was the summer of 16 into 17 when that changed. We've talked so much as Kinsey Hansen digs in. Sooners lead at 6-1. We're in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Hansen takes the first pitch for a strike. We've talked so much about how she got hit by a pitch, by the way, her last time up. the Women's College World Series will sometimes end up being a showcase for a rule that needs to be changed. There was the lanes for pitchers that had to be adjusted a couple of years ago. The 0-1 is up high. There was with Baylor and its slaps kind of stepping out of the box. We've seen that adjusted a couple of years ago when the Sooners were eliminated by Washington. There's been a big charge for replay, which we've seen in some of the collegiate conference championship tournaments. Haven't yet seen truly in the Women's College World Series, as the 1-1 to Hansen is hit through the 5-6 hole, a base hit. The Sooner hit train just keeps rolling. But if there's one thing I've learned, DJ, since calling games now over the last 5 to 6 years, is college softball is willing to listen and make changes when they need to as their governing body. The NCAA.
Absolutely, and I think that they know that it's evolving. The game is evolving, and it can't just stay the same. Just because a rule was good 10, 15 years ago doesn't mean that that rule was any good then, number one. And number two, that it continues to go with the evolution of the game. And, you know, it's something I'm glad to see the rule changes. Now, I will say, I always think you always know when there's a new rule because you see it get called the first season
right.
more than you'll ever see it get called the rest of the time because they want to make sure that new rule is being looked at. But
here's the 1-0. And it's inside, 2 balls and no strikes to Taylon Snow, who digs in. Snow reached on an error her last time up. They may have given her stats. Yeah, they did. They gave her a hit. 1 for 1 for Taylon Snow with a run scored. Here's the 2-0, swing and a miss. But yeah, it's a great point. I'm trying to think, maybe those that are following along today on Twitter at OU on the Air, we usually have our third inning shout outs. Those will return next week when we're radio only. But O'Toole brings home the 2-1 pitch, and that's in for a strike. I feel like there was the out of the box where if you had any portion of your foot stepping on the line or out of the box, that was called so much early in the season. And I feel like 2018. Here's the 2-2. Little bouncer to short. It's going to be a tough play. Snow hustling, and they just get her. Big time play by Gonzalez in short, and there's one away for the Sooners here in the second. Runners advance to second and third for Jada Coleman.
good job by Gonzalez coming and getting this ball. Only play she had was at first base and barely got her, but moved 2 runners. Got runners at second and third, so we'll take it.
See if Patty Gasso is wanting to play a little small ball here with the Sooners up 6-1. First pitch, low and in. Coleman beat out the squeeze bunt in the first inning that scored Kinsey Hansen from third. Hansen stands at second. Grace Lyons is at third in this scenario. The 1-0 from O'Toole, outside 2-0. I still want more instant replay. I know that sounds horrible, but I think there's been, it's tough sometimes with a 3-person crew that expands during the Women's College World Series. This is trouble down the left field line. It falls in fair territory. Easily scoring is Lyons. Hansen will score. Third RBI on the day for Jada Coleman, and it's a 2-run double, and it's 8-1 Sooners. Wow.
Outside of seeing the Sooners hit gap to gap, we have also seen the Sooners just find holes, find little nooks and crannies to get runs scored. And Jada Coleman bloops the ball into the left field on the left field line. Enough to, so, you know what? Sometimes that's enough to score 2. You hit the ball a little bit harder, you're only going to score 1.
And that will bring the hottest hitting Sooner this week into the plate. And Lindsey Elam with a runner at second and 1 out. And the first pitch is outside for ball 1.
We'll say I know stats don't count, but for there are a few things I'm going, man, I wish some of these stats were counting this weekend.
That's fouled off of the home plate umpire. We haven't had that happen too much. We saw one that dinged off the Mexico catcher yesterday. Maybe a double shot here. Foul, boom, boom. Oh, yeah, right off the top of Palacios and her helmet, and then it caught underneath the home plate umpire. He's taking a walk. He points everyone back. He's like, I'm good. Easy to say you're good when it doesn't happen to you, right? As Bill Walton once said, minor surgery is when they're doing surgery on someone else. Taking a shot like that, it's much better when it's trying to see how someone else feels and yourself. There's the 1-1. We'll up 2-1.
Kind of going back to the instant replay. I agree. I wish it would get used more often because it's one of those things.
Here's a ball that's hammered down the left field line, and a sliding play is made to take away extra bases from Lindsey Elam. Even when she's retired, she hits the ball hard, and that's one heck of a play in left field by Servatos.
The only way you are getting Lindsey Elam out this weekend is when she hits a line drive smash and you have to make a diving play down the left field line. That's the only way Lindsey Elam's getting out this weekend.
2 outs. As Jana Johns digs in. She hits one hard to short. Nice play up. Throws to first. Inning is over. But the Sooners add a couple more. Put this game in run rule territory as we head to the third. Sooners rolling over Team Mexico 8-1 on Sooner Sports TV. And after 2 strong innings from G. Juarez, the Sooners are starting to flex their pitching depth just a bit here as Nicole May will get her first appearance of the weekend. Oklahoma leads at 8-1 on Sooner Sports TV, presented today by OU Health. Patty Gasso turns to what I thought was the most impressive pitcher for the Sooners last weekend when they pitched at Hall of Fame Stadium. Nicole May was outstanding, and she has been, to me, one of the brighter spots for this team this season on a year whenever you have a squad that's already hit 77 home runs. So that's telling you something. May's numbers, 1.19 ERA. She is 8-0 on the season. Again, stats don't count, but this would be her 10th appearance. In 29 in the third innings, the freshman has allowed just 5 earned runs while striking out 38 with just 7 walks. 8 runs on 9 hits for the Sooners, 1 error. For Team Mexico, just 1 hit, or 1 run, excuse me, on the 4 hits and no errors. And Sierra Romero will lead things off. She's looking for her first hit of the weekend. Romero, Gonzalez, and Cervantes for Team Mexico here in the third. Pitching changes, by the way, brought to you by Love's Travel Stops, clean places, friendly faces. And Nicole Mays really looked good, DJ, after, I think, an adjustment period for her a bit during the fall, and she threw a lot during the fall for this team.
Yeah, you know, and anytime you're coming in as a freshman, there are new things you're working on. There's things that maybe worked in high school that don't necessarily work at this level. And Nicole May has taken it and run with it. And again, I mean, you can't argue with the numbers she's put up, but I mean, she's just been impressive, freshman or not. I mean, every time she steps in that circle, she has looked pretty good.
Sierra takes the first pitch for a strike. I think the one thing that you like, the one thing you like about any pitcher is that they throw straight fill. But with Nicole May, you know, knock on wood, the issue has not been walks. She pounds the zone. The 0-1. A little up and in.
Well, she's also a different look than what we see from Juarez and Shannon Sale. It's a different tempo. It's a different velocity. And again, it's a different look that you have throughout your staff.
1-1. There's the first hit of the weekend for Sierra. No! It's robbed by Jada Coleman, who came racing in to take away a base hit from Romero. 1 away. What a play. And she's even smiling.
That ball was hit hard, right back up the middle. That's the best, most solid contact that we've seen from Sierra Romero this weekend. So you know that Romero is feeling good about that, seeing a ball well. Just got stolen from her.
The first pitch to Chelsea Gonzalez. Gonzalez in the first inning reached on a single, drove in a run. She actually had the base hit that scored Sid. Here's the 1-0. A little high. All right, we have some defensive adjustments. For the first time this season, Grace Green is in the field. She's over at first base. We have not seen Grace Green play a position this season. How about that? That's as good of sign as any that she's getting back to 100%, as the 2-0 is low for a ball. And the new left fielder is Mackenzie Donahue. Mackenzie had been working with the outfielders during pregame. Typically, you'll see her work with the infielders, but McKenzie getting a little work in left field here today. The 3-0 pitch is in for a strike, 3-1. 8-1. We're in the third. It'd be only fitting that I bragged about her pounding the zone and she'd walk a hitter, right? The second hitter she faces. 3-1 is pop foul down the left field line. Mackenzie Donahue has room, races over and makes the play. Looks like she belongs out there. Visor went flying, but Donahue registers the second out of the inning, and here's Brittany Cervantes.
Donahue was all over it. She got a good read. That foul ball got high up in the air. It was a high pop fly. She even had to get rid of the visor, but.
So 2 outs for the Kentucky Wildcat legend and current director of operations for Kentucky softball. Brittany Cervantes takes the first pitch for a strike. I saw Brittany last night after the game, and I had to ask, knowing how much that is involved in being the director of ops and watching Jackie Livingston perform the job to an elite level here for the Sooners, there is no way she can still be doing that job while playing, right? As the 0-1 is up high.
They have to have someone who has filled in for her while she's playing for Team Mexico. And tell you what, a director of ops can be a thankless job sometimes, and it's such an important job. Many times, you see the director of ops behind the scenes.
She hits one deep to center field. This may be out of here. It's off the batter's eye. Cervantes bounces one off the batter's eye in center field over the 225 marker and puts a run on the board for Team Mexico. Is that their first home run of the weekend? I believe it is. First bomb from Team Mexico makes it 8-2 Sooners. Here's Victoria Vidalis.
This is a hard hit ball. And again, I think just didn't have the spot that Nicole May wanted. Cervantes taking it right back where it came from. And we've seen 2 home runs here today. Neither one have been wind dated, that is for sure, with all this wind we've got going on.
Vidalis digs in, and she hammers one down the left field line. That's at the track wall, gone. Back-to-back bombs for Team Mexico. And Cervantes and Vidalis go yard. And on a windy day in Norman, Team Mexico starts to get some big flies in the air and make it 8-3.
Again, kind of the same thing here, just not quite catching the corner. But Nicole May's still pitching with a 5-run lead. She just needs to get back to work. She's got 2 outs and finish this inning up. Get back to keeping the ball down.
Here's Amanda Sanchez. See if she can slow down this big fly party for Team Mexico as May misses a little up. Great learning experience. I mean, you never want to see anyone give up back-to-back home runs, but I've said this a lot with Nicole May. It's about being your best in May for the Sooners, and she's done a nice job when faced with adversity this year. As the 1-0 pitch is in for a strike, 1-1.
That's something we've seen every pitcher on the staff face adversity at one point or another. And again, it's not about one outing.
1 ball, 1 strike. It's a great point. It is not, as she inside outs one down the left field line, foul.
But I think, I know, Plank, you've talked about this a lot, but just the growth that Nicole May has shown. And I think we're going to continue to see that growth as the season goes on.
By the way, just so we're clear, because I'd mentioned this with the illegal pitch, we are playing by NCAA rules, so no international rules here. The 1-2 pitch is a little up. Man, the premier administrator in collegiate athletics, Kenny Mossman, pointed that out. I think there was a lot of making sure you have NCAA regulations that are followed. That's why Nicole Mendez is with OU and not playing with Team Mexico. The 2-2. Hard hit ball, foul. But like I had mentioned, that maybe with the illegal pitch, if there was something different from an international rules perspective, the NCAA. No. NCAA rules, and as DJ pointed out, anytime there's an illegal pitch, doesn't matter what happens after it, it's a ball. Thankfully, we don't advance a
Yes.
runner
Now,
on base anymore. The 2-2 pitch. Oh, that was some filth from May that just misses low.
now had Grace Lyons hit a single,
Right.
you have the choice. They actually give you the choice. Do you want to take the illegal pitch and go
Right.
back, or do you want to take the result of the play?
Full count. The pitch. Bounced towards the right side, charged by Jennings. She'll shovel to first, and in things in the third. But Team Mexico, a couple big flies as we head to the bottom of the third. Oklahoma leads it 8-3 on Sooner Sports TV, presented by OU Health. 103.3 FM studios. First pitch to Mendez is low for a ball. Got the legend, Zach McMakin, producing today. Broncos making sure all the replays look good. Carry on audio, and our camera crew today, Emma, Luis, Justin, and Michael. Everyone that is listening and watching today, we appreciate you checking in on a Sunday as the 1-0 is a little in. But you need to know the man who makes this all possible is Joel Manning, who's
Yes.
keeping DJ and I sane here
Yep.
inside the Rita Hines press box. Socially distanced. Here's the 1-1 pitch to the Sooner right fielder. Bounce to first. Nice play. Taking it over to the bag for the easy out is Vidalis, and there's one out. Mendez now for 1 for 2, excuse me, on the day. She does have an RBI. Here's Tiare Jennings.
That is the first time this game that the Sooners haven't gotten a leadoff runner on.
How about that? Something tells me that's really good.
Yes, that's
Here's Tiare Jennings. And she takes the first pitch for a strike. Boy, what a performance by Tiare Jennings, not just today but this weekend. She's 1 for 2 with a run scored and an RBI. The 0-1. Low. And by the way, that one was a bomb over the center field wall. She is now on the weekend 7 for 9 with a couple of runs scored, a couple extra base hits, and 3 RBIs. And when she gets hot, she gets hot. Here's the 1-1. Off the glove of Toole. Jennings will beat it out without a throw as it bounced off O'Toole's glove and slowed down just enough to where Amanda Sanchez didn't have a play at third. And here's Jocelyn Alo.
yeah, right back up the middle, but this is a play again. You see O'Toole kind of hit her side with her glove. That is a play that she expects to make.
I wonder if they had to re-enter her because Mackenzie Donahue came in, or if they just shifted her to that DP spot. Regardless, Alo steps in and takes the first pitch for a strike. Team Mexico's coach is standing on the top step of the dugout. They're pushing the shortstop closer towards the middle of the field as the 0-1 is outside. 1-1. Grace Green is slated in Taylon Snow's spot, which is the 5-hole. We'll see. Alo is now listed as the DP, so that's a good sign. Here's the 1-1. A little up. That got to the backstop. Off the second is Jennings. Time is called as we're going to have a quick trip to the circle. I think Cervantes is in behind the plate, so for the first time, looks like Palacio might be getting a little time off. There's Jassi's numbers entering today. Now, again, the beautiful part of this is none of these matter this weekend, but 19 home runs, still good for the #1 spot in the country. Tiare Jennings is third right now with 14 home runs. They have 5 players in the top 10 in home runs this season, which is incredible. And they're essentially actually 4 players in the top 10. It's essentially the 1 through 4 hitters in their lineup. Good luck with that.
What makes it tough, too, you can't just throw around Alo.
Alo called time. She was tired of waiting.
You know, she's protected. And not just with, someone behind. Grace Lyons has a few home runs. I mean, she's ranked at top 10 in the entire country, in the entire NCAA.
2-1. Ooh, just a little out in front. Alo had that swing ready. And just just started a little early. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Grace Lyons waits on deck. The runner at second is Jennings. After a leadoff single, the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2-way. I said leadoff single. Nicole Mendez led off with a bouncer. Was the first leadoff hitter in an inning not to reach base. So Jennings stands at second with 2 outs, and here's Grace Lyons. Nalo's 0 for 3. But again, we're only in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and the Sooners lead at 8-3. I think there's a chance if Patty Gasso wants, she'll have a few more at bats. First pitch to Lyons. Other way on a bouncer to second. Easy play for Sid Romero. Gloves and throws, and the inning is over. Grace Lyons now 1 for 2 on the day with a couple of runs scored. We head to the 4th. Oklahoma leads Team Mexico 8-3 on Sooner Sports TV, presented by OU Health. Look at our Big 12 scoreboard, courtesy of Air Comfort Solutions. First pitch of the 4th is a little low to Palacios, who did not catch last inning, but it's like she's in here as the DP. Ball 1.
I've been really impressed with Palacios behind the plate. And she's caught almost every inning this weekend, but she's shown her arm at times. She's handled the pitchers well.
She pops this one into left field. Donahue makes the catch, and there's one away. The only concern I have about Mackenzie Donahue in left field is keeping that visor on. She's lost it on both plays. One away. She looks good out there.
Yeah, she does. She's getting good jumps on the ball. The visor might have to go, though, every time.
Stefania Ardias will bat here. The first pitch is low for a ball. Ardias a strikeout victim. She's 0 for 1. Hernandez waits on deck with Sid Romero due up after her. At top of the lineup for Team Mexico. Here's the 1-0. That's in for a strike. 1-1. So Mackenzie Donahue in left, Jada Coleman in center, with Nicole Mendez in right. Looks like Kinsey Hansen is checked in behind the plate with Grace Green at first, Tiare Jennings at second, Lyons at short, and Johns at third. Off speed, rip foul. Along with DJ Sanchez, I'm Chris Plank. Sooners rolling on a Sunday afternoon, but again, you can't help but get excited about A, how this team has looked today, and then B, how they really seem to be rounding into form with conference play looming next weekend. Sooners take on Iowa State for 3, and then Kansas here in Norman. The midweek game against Wichita State, the 1-2 is bounced, or popped foul off the netting behind home plate.
I'm really excited. I've talked about it almost every time I've been here, but with Big 12 conference, I mean, Iowa State has done a good job. They've got a good start to the season. Everything that, I mean, everyone in the conference for the most part is doing. So it's going to be, I'm really pumped. We're going to get to see some awesome softball.
1-2 is hammered foul. I know what most of you are looking forward to, and I know what a majority of people are thinking about when they look at that Big 12 slate. That's April 16th, 17th, and 18th. And that's when the Texas Longhorns are coming to town. Mike White's team had a bit of a struggle on Friday with New Mexico, but they bounced back in a big way yesterday. I think the eyes of the country will be on the Big 12 in Norman that weekend. 1-2 in the dirt. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of intrigue, even though Oklahoma State has dropped a couple of games this week on the final regular season series in early May, 7th, 8th, and 9th. All 3 games this year against Oklahoma State in Stillwater, which is unique for this series. 2-ball, 2-strike pitch by May. Bounce to second. Jennings gets the hop, throws to first, 2 away. Well, as a matter of fact, that's not a bad idea. Grant Wade, the GMC road ahead for the Sooners. This is what it looks like. Oklahoma Buick GMC dealers. As Patty Gasso, this timed out perfectly. Coach Gasso is going to go to the circle. Next weekend, 3 games in Iowa State. Always interesting. We looked at the weather. Saturday might be a little bit dicey in Ames, so that could end up being a series where you end up playing a couple of games on Friday or a couple of games on Sunday or maybe a couple of games on Saturday just to make sure you get the series in. 4 o'clock on Friday, 1 on Saturday. That's 1 p.m. to Waco. And that's a look at the road ahead for the Sooner softball team. Presented by Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Pitching change for the Sooners brought to you by Love's Travel Stops. Clean places, friendly faces. We'll keep it here. First appearance this weekend for Macy McAdoo. We've had a lot of conversations about Macy McAdoo, DJ Sanchez, where It's very simple for Macy. Pound the zone.
Yes, and that's kind of been something that has come around to get her at times. But gosh, Macy has good stuff. She throws well. She has great movement, and she doesn't need to be too fine with her pitches. And I think that's one thing we've seen her try to do at times. She just needs to throw because she has good stuff.
She does have a start this season for the Sooners. This is her 8th appearance for McAdoo in 7 innings. She's allowed 3 hits, just 2 earned runs. But the issue there is the walks. 9 walks so far this season. To kind of give you a comparison, Macy in 7 innings has 9 walks. Shannon Sale in 25 innings this year has 9 walks. But, I mean, you hit it on the head. She is as talented of a pitcher on this roster. I mean, there are some things that she was able to do last year as a true freshman, having never been on in a Division I college softball game that you just dropped your jaw. If she finds the strike zone, look out for this other weapon out of the pen for the Sooners, as Jennifer Rocha is excited about the future of McAdoo, who just misses the outside corner on the first pitch to Hernandez for ball 1.
Yeah, the future is bright for McAdoo, and again, it's not a matter of how talented she is.
Right.
She is extremely talented as that ball misses a little outside, but
Jada Coleman threw her arms out in center field. Want to know what happened.
But again, I think at times just trying to be too perfect, and I think that's something you see from young pitchers at this level sometimes, but trying to be too fine, trying to put things a little too perfect.
That 2-0 pitch misses outside, ball 3.
But and you can kind of see her growing and learning, but learning just to let her pitches move. Let your pitches work. Don't try to place them somewhere. Don't try to make a pitch move. It's going to move. You've got the stuff, so just let it happen.
The 3-0 is in for a strike.
We'll say Nicole May rebounded well. 3 quick outs.
How about that?
Yeah.
That's really good to see. The 3-1. That hung up a little bit high. Ball 4, and here's Sid Romero. Sid has been on the Sooners staff from the day that Macy McAdoo stepped on campus. 2 obviously never had a chance to play together. But she's seen probably enough to have a good scouting report on McAdoo as Sid steps in 1 for 2 on the day. First pitch is in the dirt. That thing bounced well before the plate. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. 8-3 Sooners, top of the 4th inning. Here's the 1-0 from McAdoo. Low and in, ball 2.
One thing for Sid this weekend, she hasn't, she let off the game with the double today, but she hasn't been having things fall. I mean, she's hit some balls hard. They've just been right at people.
Ball 3 as that misses up high. And Kinsey Hansen immediately sees it, so she's heading out to chat. Kind of go in depth on exactly what they need to adjust. That's of the 9 pitches now that she's thrown. Unfortunately, 7 of them have been balls. Chase one, Sid. Unfortunately, I don't think that happens with Sid Romero at the plate. It's the 3-0. It's a good pitch on the inside corner, strike 1.
And as much as, and Plank, this, as much as this is a physical game, I think it's equally a mental game. With what you're doing, especially as a pitcher, in the box, as a hitter, there's so many things that can get in your head quickly.
Could be 2. No, Johns will just go to first with 2 outs. That wouldn't make too much sense. It ends the inning. Well, Macy McAdoo walks a batter, but gets the bounce out on a nice play by Johns to end the 4th. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Sooners in control, leading 8-3 on Sooner Sports TV. Carolina State. This is one of a handful of exhibitions that they're playing to get ready, and the first pitch is popped up down the right side by Kinsey Hansen, and Sid dropped it, but in foul territory. There's a rarity. That looked like a fair ball, but it's called foul. Strike 1 on Kinsey Hansen with Oklahoma up 8-3.
I'd be interested to see. From here, it looked like she may have touched it fair. I guess we see her foot go outside the line. That's tough angle, tough. She went a long way for that ball. And I think we're so used to seeing Sid catch that. Oh, yeah.
0-1 pitch is in for a strikeout, too. The women's softball qualified teams for the Olympics. Japan, the host country. The United States won the 2018 WBSC World Champion. World title, I guess I should say. The 0-2 is in the dirt. Italy, who was the WBSC Softball Europe Africa Olympic qualifier winner. And of course, Mexico and Canada. And then Australia, who won the Softball Asia Olympic qualifier. 1-2. Bounce back up the middle and through into center field. A base hit. Sooners get their leadoff hitter aboard. It's Kinzie Hansen, and here comes Grace Green for the first time tonight. So Japan, U.S., Italy, Mexico, Canada, and Australia are the 6. The Olympic Games are set for July 21st is when things are going to get started. Patty Gasso is going to use Riley Boone here as a pinch runner for Kinzie Hansen, and was just checking OU on the air. Had a good question from James. Said, where's Team Mexico practicing? Also, do the players go back to their homes between games? Well, they spent 2 weeks down in Clearwater, Florida, in training in a lot of ways with Team USA, as Riley Boone pinch runs here. But they're traveling. They're on an exhibition tour. They're headed out to LA to play some teams in Los Angeles. You can follow Team Mexico. Danielle O'Toole is taking care of all their social media, by the way, is one thing I learned. On Twitter at Team Mexico SB. First pitch to Grace Green is in for a strike. And they keep you up to date on everything that's going on as they prepare for the Summer Olympics. USA Softball, by the way, wrapped up their training camp in Florida, so they'll be heading back to different parts of the country to continue their preparation. The 0-1 pitch, bounced towards second, could be 2. Romero shovels to short for 1 to first. 4-6-3 double play, 2 away. And I guess maybe the best way to describe it, this is their training camp.
Yes.
This is Team Mexico's. Team USA just wrapped up theirs in Clearwater, Florida. This is Team Mexico's training camp. And where are they practicing? Here. And then when they go to LA, they'll practice on the campus of Loyola Marymount and others. And a nice play here. Sid looking comfortable there at second on that play.
Yeah, it just, again, smooth as ever.
2 outs for Jada Coleman. Jada takes it low for ball 1. Coleman on the day is 2 for 2 with 4 RBIs and a run scored. What a day. Sooners as a team with those 11 hits are hitting .521 here today.
Goodness.
Here's the 1-0 to Jada. Showed the bunt, pulled it back, takes a strike. Of course, that's what got the party started for Jada Coleman today, that squeeze bunt.
And that was perfectly executed.
One, swing and a miss, little fool there.
I will say, this is, I personally feel the best we've seen O'Toole look as far as hitting spots and actually having the Sooners off balance a little bit. We haven't seen that much. The Sooners have looked pretty comfortable in the box, not swinging through a lot of pitches. We're starting to see O'Toole get the Sooners off balance a little bit, more so than we've seen all weekend from O'Toole.
1-2. Just got a piece of it and loops it into shallow center field. Off the glove of a diving Yurtes in center field. We'll see how they rule it, but it looks like it may be a hit. And let's adjust our rosters because it looks as if they gave Yurtes the rest of the day off. They have shifted Aridias into center field. Interesting day for, Anissa Yurtes. Can't help but wonder if maybe she's dealing with something because she was originally slated to be the leadoff batter, and then she wasn't in the lineup after the lineup had been submitted. Then she was going to play shortstop, then she moves to second, and Jada Coleman's going to steal second easily. Oh my, the ball got to center field. She could have taken third if she wanted to, but stays. So Yurtes plays a couple of innings in center field for Team Mexico as Mackenzie Donahue takes the first pitch for a ball. And now she's out. So hope everything's okay, but it's been a long weekend of preparation for them too, and their ultimate goal is the Olympics.
Yeah, it does make you wonder because Urta, she was warming up. We saw her out here. She was
She's in the lineup. Runner at second now. 1-0 pitch to Mackenzie Donahue is in for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Donahue didn't play on Friday night. We saw her check in last night, getting an opportunity here to play a little left field. Her first at bat of the weekend. Here's the 1-1. Hard hit ball foul down the first baseline. Look out, Jennifer Rocha. Coach Rocha doing a little dance over at first base to make sure that missed her.
Get her a glove, she would have caught it.
Oh, she would have absolutely made a play. One ball, 2 strikes. Pitch. Bounce towards second slowly. Romero charges, shovels to first, inning over. We head to the 5th. Oklahoma in control over Team Mexico, leading 8-3 on Sooner Sports TV against the Sooner, I guess you could say, quote-unquote, sophomore. Still a freshman in eligibility terms. She's looked impressive when called.
She has, and again, this is just such a deep pitching staff. It's from top to bottom, and great way to start with the outside strike there. But Olivia Raines, I mean, again, I could say this about everybody on the staff, but she throws hard. She has good movement. But again, she's been strong so far this season.
Sierra Romero is 0 for 1. Jada Coleman took a hit from her last inning as the 0-1 is a little low and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. I should say last at bat for Sierra. Today I've been a little bit shook as a broad. I'm not going to lie, because I left my score sheets at home, and these backup score sheets that Patrick Dunn was kind enough to give me are so small I can't read them. The 1-1 is fouled back. So I got to break out my old man glasses here to read them. And I just decided, you know what, I'm going to go digital the rest of the way. So I went from being old and antiquated to new and hip. All in the span.
You're always new and hip.
All in the
Frank.
span of 3 innings, DJ. 8-3 Sooners. We're here in the 5th. 1 ball, 2 strike count to Sierra Romero. Raines brings it home. Bounced foul. Yeah, Sierra, I mean, I'm not going to pretend to understand the process of how Team Mexico is putting together its roster, but she was a very late add to this roster. In fact, to a certain degree, so was Sid. But to see Sierra get this opportunity, the former Michigan Wolverine. 1-2. Cold strike 3 on the outside corner. It's been a tough weekend in her first appearance since returning from the knee injury for Sierra Romero, and what a pitch from Olivia Raines.
Great spot, great setup all the way around by Raines. You know, and another look at that pitch. Great curveball on the outside corner, just froze her.
There's Chelsea Gonzalez.
You know, and
Hop fouling out.
Sydney and Sierra, they're just both, I mean, elite ball players. And, you know, I feel, I mean, having gone through injuries myself, I feel frustrated for Sierra because it's hard to just jump back in after facing an injury like what she did. She will be tremendous for this team come summer. I think that they know that.
There's a shallow fly ball to left field, but not quite deep enough from Donahue to make a play. For Lyons, she'll shift out and catch it for the second out of the inning. It's a great point, too, when she gets 100% healthy.
I mean, she's such a stud. And, you know, but it's a process, especially, too. I mean, Plank, you were talking earlier about kind of the exhibition schedule that they've been playing. But in the same token, they haven't seen Sierra Romero hasn't seen a ton of live pitching.
No, this is the first she's seen this weekend.
So, I mean, we've seen her square up a couple balls, but taking BP is a lot different than getting in there in the box against an actual live pitcher.
Brittany Cervantes takes the first pitch a little up, ball 1. She's 0 for 2 on the day. Dallas waits on deck. Kind of unique. Dallas is staying in the on-deck circle in front of her own dugout as the 1-0 pitch is high, 2-0.
So that makes me feel better. Just just seeing it, I'm going.
Okay, that's a little normal. Haven't been with us this weekend. The Team Mexico batters 2-0 pitch is in for a strike. In international play, you'll see the on-deck hitter swing from the on-deck circle. That would be in conjunction with the side of the plate they hit from. So I was thrown off a few times seeing a right-handed batter in front of the Sooner dugout in that on-deck circle. Here's a 2-1. Line shot over the head of Lyons into the left center field gap. It'll get to the wall. Coleman plays it beautifully. They'll have a play at second base, and they'll get her. Oh, Jada Coleman with the cannon from left center field. And the inning is over. What a throw. What a tag. We've seen small ball. We've seen home runs. We've seen pitching. And we've seen defense all weekend long. The freshman with a bullet to end the top of the fifth. We head to the bottom of the fifth inning. Oklahoma leads it 8-3 on Sooner Sports TV. That's definitely not Sydney Romero in right. And the first pitch to Jana Johns is a little out.
Yeah, that definitely is O'Toole.
I would love to be able to ask the former Arizona pitcher how much time she's spent, or Danielle O'Toole, excuse me, out in right field. The 1-0 is a swing and a miss. Strike one to Jana Johns, who is 1 for 2.
I want to ask her,
Danielle O'Toole.
Are we trying to hide her out there? Or
Now watch, she'll make
I want to see her make a play.
She might make some diving catch.
Yes.
Here's the 1-1. That's a little up. Cervantes is indeed behind the plate for Team Mexico here. They've stayed with the same infield. That's Sid over at second. There's a good look at the former Kentucky standout. 2-1 is a check swing that's a little up. They'll check with the first base umpire, who says she went. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Johns.
I thought she held up.
I did too. And Palacios has made her first appearance of the day in left field. So from behind the plate to left field, from the circle to right field. Creativity. 2-2 is hammered deep to left field and long gone. Jana Johns woke up the crowd at Marita Hines Field with a blast over the left field wall. Had been a quiet couple of innings, and Jana Johns just launched one way out of here as she airplanes into home plate. It's 9-3 Sooners.
And talk about the toughest part of the field to get a ball out of here today with the wind. And man, she turned on that, and that was a no-doubter.
The only question was whether or not that thing could have been held up in the wind just a bit. It's a Whataburger home run. And Nicole Mendez digs in with the Sooners up 9-3, and she fouls it at the plate. Second inning, the Sooners have started with a home run after Tiare Jennings did it to start the game for the Sooners. Mindy's 1 for 2 with an RBI. Grounded out to first in her last at bat on a nice play by Vidalis. Here's the 0-1. A little out. So Vidalis is still at first for Team Mexico, with Sid Romero at second, Gonzalez at short, Sanchez at third. Cervantes is going to be the battery mate for Highland here. Palacios in center, Aridias. Palacio in left, Aridias in center. O'Toole in right. I don't think it's going to be a strike, as it looked like Mendez was able to hold up on the pitch that was a little up. 2 balls and a strike.
I'll say a lot of versatility for Team Mexico. I mean, how often do you see a pitcher go to right,
I don't
catcher
think
go
I
to
ever
left,
have.
take your first baseman or put him behind the plate? I mean,
the 2-1 is in for strike 2 and 2. And they did basically travel here to Norman with a fairly limited roster. I think they only had 14 or 15 players they had available. Pitch. Little soft slap to short. Going to be a tough play. The throw is not in time. Mendez beat it out. Nice charge by Gonzalez, but Nicole Mendez has made an art on that soft slap to short.
And that's exactly what it is it's art. It takes practice, it takes touch, it takes finesse, and man, there are not many shortstops that are going to make a play on that.
No.
Sydney Romero made a play on it yesterday.
Yes, and that's about it.
But there are not many. And Gonzalez got on this, but she just not quite quick enough, getting on the ball quick enough.
Here's Tiare Jennings. The pitch is a little up and to the backstop. Mendez takes off to second. Advancing on the wild pitch. What a day for Tiare Jennings. She's 2 for 3 with a run scored. And that run scored came on the RBI, the home run. that she hit back in the first inning. She has been outstanding.
And I don't feel like we're seeing Highland. I mean, Sooners, again, had 8 hits yesterday. But for the most part, I mean, she held them down 1 run.
Yep.
And, I mean, Highland, I felt like, was the sharpest we had seen from this Mexico pitching staff so far this weekend. And we don't quite see her as sharp today.
After a quick conversation, Montes back behind the plate. The 1-0 from Highland is up high again, 2-0. Another really good question on Twitter. Dr. Walden asked, in the vein of the Olympics, who are from some former / current Sooners on the Team USA roster? Great question, as the 2-0 is a little bit up and in. Well, on the active roster, there's actually not a former Sooner, but Kalani Ricketts is considered as a potential replacement player. She should be on the active roster. Here's the 3-0, outside ball 4. But there are some players, or at least a player with ties or names you might be familiar with. Janie Reed was here as a volunteer assistant. Some former Big 12 arch rivals like Kat Osterman. Some current players we've gone against like Bubba Nichols at UCLA, Deji Mujipola out of Arizona, and Rachel Garcia out of UCLA. And former Sooner video guru Allison Fanning is working with Team USA, as is Destiny Martinez. So I hope that helps, as the first pitch to Jocelyn Alo misses outside ball 1. I would say that it'd be considered the co-favorites with Team Japan.
I would say so. And Japan always puts together a good squad.
1-0 is in for a strike, though. It popped out of the glove of Cervantes.
I always kind of enjoy watching Japan because it's just it's a different style of ball. And, you know, everything they do is a little bit different. Not in a good way or a bad way.
No.
It's just a different style of ball,
Yeah.
so I always enjoy watching them play.
1-1 with runners at first and second to Alo is skied to right field. O'Toole makes the catch. A runner tags and will advance to third, does Mendez. Jossie is 0 for on the day, but advanced the runner with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Sooners have a run and they lead at 9-3. And the coach for Team Mexico is trying to move Sid to short. There we go. Came out. That was a little bit different mid-inning. Carlos Caro came out and was just pointing towards Sid at second and was, I don't know why, making the motion like you can see it in the booth, but he wanted her to flip to short with Gonzalez. So Gonzalez moves mid-inning to second, and Romero moves to short. And here's Grace Lyons with runners at first and third and 1 out. When we saw Team Japan play in Palm Springs 3 years ago, it was amazing. The first pitch to Lyons is launched down the left field line, and it's gone! Oh, baby, what a shot from Grace Lyons. It's a 3-run jack over the left field wall, and the Sooners are rolling. It's 12-3 Oklahoma. A tip of the cap from Patty Gasso. An airplane trip into home plate. What a shot. And is that ball game?
I think so. I think they're going to go with the run rule today since it's getaway day Sunday. We got flights to catch.
It's getaway day, and that's a winner. A Whataburger blast over the left field wall, and Oklahoma essentially in 2 games run rules the 5th best team in the world. Final score on a Sunday after winning 11-zip on Friday. The Sooners win it 12-3. Wow.
That was a blast. I mean, and again, the wind is blowing across the field. Hardest place to get a ball out today. And again, that was another no-doubter out to left field.
Bud Light post-game show time. Now, the confusion over the run rule is that it wasn't in place on Friday, but to kind of let everyone in on a little secret, we had a drop-dead time of 2:30 today. So had this game ran longer than, say, 2:20, or if the final at bat hadn't started at 2:30, then we would have dropped that in Mexico, to drop that game for the, or time for the game, excuse me, and then Team Mexico would have just moved on from there, and they would travel off to their next destination. I think Team Mexico is headed to Los Angeles to play next weekend and continue their training camp. So regardless, the umpire said let's go, and that's what they did, and Oklahoma will sweep this series from Team Mexico. This is a really cool moment. You see the Sooners in the circle, but Patty Gasso, it has been a big deal to Coach Gasso down the first base line. She has got Team Mexico together in a huddle, and I'm telling you what, I think Coach Gasso has enjoyed having Team Mexico here just to have, you know, the opportunity for her players to play against some of the best, and then, you know, to just be around, to be able to coach in a lot of ways Sid Romero again. But this is awesome to see Coach kind of giving a little talk to Team Mexico. She has thoroughly enjoyed, I think, every minute of this, as has her team. Are you kidding me this weekend? Oklahoma Sooners softball, 11-0, 2-1 on a walk-off, and then 12-3 here in run rule fashion. Wow. Get comfortable as we roll on here with the Bud Light postgame show, because it's time for the scoring recap. And, well, Team Mexico got off to a nice start. The leadoff double by Sid Romero. Then she scores to make it 1-0. And then Tiare Jennings says, "Nuh-uh, we're good." She launches one over the right center field wall. And then the Sooners would roll on to put 6 on the board in the first inning. DJ, you love to see the small ball.
I do, and there's nothing I love more than a great executed squeeze bunt.
Lindsey Elam stayed hot. She drove in a run. And then this was a tough play for O'Toole in the circle. I didn't know which way to go with it, and the Sooners put that crooked number up. Other way for Jada Coleman. We mentioned she had 4 RBIs on the day. 2 of them come home on this run-scoring double. 8-1 at that point. And then the Team Mexico bats came to life. A couple of home runs. Made it 8-3, their first 2 home runs of the weekend off Nicole May. But Nicole May bounced back to get out of the inning, which was good to see. And then Oklahoma takes care of it in the 4th. A launch from Jana Johns, and then Grace Lyons said, "You know what, I haven't had one of those home runs yet this weekend. Let's walk it off." And she does with a laser down the left field line. Win column Sooners. Oklahoma takes it by a final score of 12-3. As we take a look at the Taco Mayo final stats. Grace Lyons airplanes in. I mean, just overall dominance.
It was, and again, you even go down to just the smallest things. Base running, which is a small thing, but it's a huge thing. But the base running was flawless. It was aggressive. Defense was flawless. Pitching, everyone in the staff came in and looked good and looked solid. Offensively, there was no stopping the Sooners this weekend. So, I mean, this was just, again, a complete series to bring out the brooms.